We have responsibility to promote welfare and well-being to our people as well. No? We are here to, again, not just to for ourselves. I believe we should contribute something for the benefit of our people and for our mother planet. If we will not think of others, and especially with our future generations, I don't know where they will live in the future. Maybe they will live to Mars because Earth is becoming uninhabitable. No? That's why Elon Musk, I could not be able to blame him to find a second home. Mars, or they are debating basically if we will either colonize Mars or Titan Moon. The Titan Moon is what Saturn planet. No? They are telling there's a debate that it is more habitable in Saturn rather than to Mars. Anyhow, no? It is very ambitious project, okay? But this is only my opinion. If we the current generation become responsible on what we are doing, maybe our future generation don't need to look for another planet to stay and to live. This is only my opinion. No? But now we have to start being responsible citizen. No? They are telling it's too cold in Mars, right? And there is no atmosphere. You know what is atmosphere? Protects the, like us, living things from harmful UV rays, no? So if you will stay in Mars, I guess you have to stay underground because if you stay outside and expose yourself to, there is no atmosphere there. Compared to Titan Moon, this is what they are telling. In Titan Moon, they have they have atmosphere. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, their debate is too cold there. Yeah, of course. In during winter, around negative, if I'm not mistaken, negative 190 to 200 degrees. It's very freezing cold. Yeah. A lot of tendency for frostbite issue. Ah. But according to the expert or Elon Musk itself, don't mind being cold there because we, as a human, expert in one thing, making the planet hotter, not colder. So whatever we're doing here in Earth, we will just multiply there by 1,000 times. Then sooner or later, that planet will become hot as well. He's right. Huh? But if they will continue also producing a lot of greenhouse gas emission out there, sooner or later must also become uninhabitable. And then what? The future generation, 1,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, they will look for another planet again. This is a never-ending process for the human race to survive. So for us, I think we have to do something. And instead of now you are resting, this is your rest day, you're here to study and to become more responsible citizen. All right? So that is our introduction. So I think everyone here knows me already. And again, I will be your instructor for the course. So what is our course objective? Understand the green design, construction, and operation. Okay. So here, there are many ways to be to consider sustainability. However, we will focus in this course in construction projects, and I will explain why. Now, why not in why we don't start with factories or in the plants, no? There is a very valid reasons on that. Identify the key component of LEED application process. We will also discuss that. The fees and eligibility requirements, if there's any, the duration and everything we will discuss. Identify the key component of LEED rating system. So basically, there is a pointing system. Now, based on your project sustainability goals, what level of certifications of the building you want to achieve. Basically, in LEED, we have four types: certified building, silver certified, gold certified, and platinum certified. Uh, there's no double or triple platinum. That's only for the singer. No? Uh, describe the environmental concept of each credit category, of course, and describe successful green building and lead strategy. Okay, so here I feel all of us is an engineer. So sooner or later, uh, you will go back to your workplace and probably you might consider in all of your future projects what is sustainability is all about. Don't worry that your project is not the green building. If you're a designer, remember the benefit is not just for the environment. The idea that you will learn here, the benefit is for everyone, including for the company. For what is the benefit of the company uh, considering sustainability as part of their strategy, definitely cost savings and improve competitive edge and advantage. So uh, it is a misconception, I can say, that if you think of sustainability, it will increase your project cost. It is not, no? Because the true sustainability achieved if everyone is benefited. The business is benefited, the people are benefited, and the planet is benefited. That's how sustainability are. If the company is not benefiting then that's not sustainability. Because the business, for your knowledge, we're doing it not because of we want to lose money. We do business in order to gain money. And we will describe successful green building and lead strategy that achieves the benefit to everyone. So here we have the following chapter. So we have chapter 1 to chapter 10, and then we will discuss at the end the lead green associate exam, which I feel the course enough is comprehensive enough, I can say, for you to successfully pass the exam even after the class itself. Maybe after 1 week, you can do the exam immediately. And I don't see any problem with that. Okay? So let's now move on to chapter 1, the grid building basics. So what are the learning objective here? We will define what is grid building is all about, the benefits of grid building. We will define what is the triple bottom line that what I mentioned earlier, the whole building approach, the integrated project delivery or IPD, what is system thinking, and what is ongoing operational maintenance, and meaning what uh, is it possible also to apply the green building strategy or sustainability strategy as part of ongoing operation or activity of the building, and define the difference between the life cycle cost and life cycle assessment or LCA. They are not the same, but definitely they are highly related or correlated, you can say. No? So now, why green build? No? Why build green? I mean, mhm. Why? No? So I'll just give you some of the statistics here. The buildings directly contribute to the following: climate change, and this is one of the greatest actually threat to human race, I can say, because again, probably now you are not facing any issue, but our future generation will suffer. Now floodings become more problematic, I can say. It is more, the chance of livelihood is very high. So that's why we have a lot of flood control strategies, flood control projects. Uh, I remembered before, no, there is a lake in my place. Just want to share with you. And we love to swim over there. We love, uh, tawag ba yung ilog? Lake, no? No, lake. River. Ah, sorry. Yeah, river. I remember that with our friends, no, we swim there, time to time. Sometimes there's most fish also there. But when I go home, no, well, go on vacation, when I check, there's a lot of garbage already. So what does it mean? What our generation feel benefit those days, our future generation will not be able to experience. And that is one of the classical example of unsustainable practice. That is normally the effect, negative effect, not positive. No, our children may don't know. Future generation, what if river, how fun to swim. Do you swim to river before in your place? Mm. Why? When you is already filled with garbage, because for us, but our river already filled with garbage. Eh. The water are stagnant, it's not no longer moving. I was shocked, really, before it's flowing very nicely. And to some in some ways, they are also using this for for cloth washing, no? And some people also drink that, no? Which I feel it's okay. I feel if the nature, maybe there are some bacteria there, but that is healthy. You can drink that, I guess. But the thing is, now no more because it is contaminated with many materials, and we don't know what kind of waste it is. Biological waste or manufacturing waste or chemical waste, we don't know. So very dangerous nowadays. Anyway, this is the reality. Those experience we had before, do you have those experience? Hmm? Becoming, we have your gentleman from Leyte, Your Honor. All right. So depletion of resources is another reason why we need to consider to be responsible this time, meaning our resources are not unlimited. Maybe we have now, but how about 100 years from now? Your great grandchildren, huh? You will not think of their welfare as well. So meaning sustainability, remember, is long term. It's about long term strategy. So meaning we are not only considering our current generations to be benefited on this, especially your future generation. Uh, unless you don't have children, there's no future for you. Huh? Your generation stop. And it's happening, no, in some country now. In Greece, I watched a video. In Greece also now, the population is declining. This is also their problem. They encourage the people to have more children, and they're also giving maternity wages and maternity benefits. The government itself is giving, not the company. But still, the population decline. And sooner or later, the future generation will suffer, no? Because the future generation, the government will suffer because the workforce become less, no? So we have the land pollution, we have the water pollution, all right, and air pollution. No? And the solution is grid building, and we will until the end of the course we will understand why that grid building will allow us not just to there's nothing wrong to do our business today, to do construction, to make development. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, we have to be responsible. This is only the concept that we need to understand. No? I am not against to urban development. We are not against to innovation, technology. We are not, of course. But again, we have to think sustainability. That what will be the consequence of our action today, how it will impact our future generation. So can you guess which of the following have the highest contribution to greenhouse gas emission? Industries. Huh? Qatar Gas, you mean to say? Qatar Energy like this? Qatar Petroleum? Huh? How about transport, traffic? Imagine, no? Manila. I've seen Manila. Ha? No? Remember, if your country is more if the traffic is problem, it is not just loss of productivity. The people are suffering also because of the loss of productivity. Most of them may be late to their work. Loss of productivity. The people could supposed to be sometimes no, you wait for hours, maybe not even 1 hour, 2 hours travel. Imagine those 2 hours back and forth to let's say 4 hours. You can save no, so you can do a better. You can be more productive citizen no if you are not stuck in the traffic. And I think everyone is suffering. If the people are stuck in the traffic, the driver also suffer. No, their income will not increase because of the traffic or the duration. The fare will be remain fixed. No, especially with the public transportation. I don't know Uber. Uber, if you stay more, meaning it will. Because it is in kilometers fixed is. So even there is a huge traffic, you stuck in 10 hours, kilometer wise. The time is not it's not a taxi because in our country, taxi rate also there is a time based, no? It's not kilometer based. Binayaran mo, no? Kilometer wise. Okay. For me, both elements should be considered, no? No, look, for us, it's good to have a lower fare. But how about the family of those drivers? We have to think, no? Okay. So loss of productivity to everyone. You see the damage to not just the damage to environment. If you stuck there, how much carbon emission now you are emitting because you are stuck over there? And remember, billions of dollars are lost to your government revenue just because of traffic. So that's why this urban development, road widening, extra, alternative transportation strategy like train and bicycle lane, etc., is actually makes things sustainable. No, alternative strategy. Anyway, building. All right. Now, most of you might think industrial plants will be the highest contributor. Well, I guess you're right, of course. But this is not just about the industry itself, the size of the industry, no? So if you see here, the building is actually the highest contributor, no, around 43%. And guess what? Residential is 21%, commercial 17%, industrial plants, industrial area, industrial business 5%. The industry itself, the plant, no, the plant industry is 25% only. Actually, the lowest. And transportation is the second 32%. No? This is the average globally, no? The global climate change. You cannot now, maybe if you are skeptical, I'll tell you this. In this room, we are consuming energy. No? I'm using laptop. I'm charging my mobile right now. I'm also using the TV. We have AC. We have lighting. We have heating, the backside. In this room alone, no, we burn fuel. This room alone. And how many do you think like this? All right. Now, how many plants are there? Hmm? Okay. In our house, AC 24/7. We don't turn off. Ah, this is also a worst case, no? If the planet become hotter, we HVAC engineer knows very well, no? Those mechanical engineer knows that the more hot it is, the cooling load requirements needs to we need more cooling requirements. The cooling load need to be increased to sustain the required comfortability, right? But it's increase your consumption. When we use more energy, which is a fossil fuel, natural gas, this actually we directly also emit greenhouse gas emission. So the more energy we consume, indirectly we're also contributing to climate change, global warming. Anyway, we will hopefully Elon Musk succeed. So your future, so now you need to invest a lot, no? You need to become a billionaire, no? So your future set generation, you can send them to Titan Moon. You can send them to other planet, English, what's this? Huh? 581. See?
Galaxy Visa. Part of the
I'll tell you, just last week, all right? I think this week only. Now there is a race to colonize the moon. And guess what? China is now leading it. But you know China, once they put their assets there, they will claim it theirs.
China is very good in
Hmm?
possible things.
But do you know that there is a treaty before, I think in 1960s, that we as a human race, we talks about planet. Forget about your nationality or culture. We talks about one planet. No, we are in our home planet is Earth. Okay, we as a human should not claim any of the extraterrestrial bodies or anything outside, including moon. They sign a treaty. So no one owns anything outside. All nation own this. But I think now China is not respecting that. No, you cannot also blame them if they put their asset there. Then you cannot simply go there and it's become a private. Huh? But there's no tariff there. Tariff. Hmm. So is it clear? Do you have a doubt on this? No, right? Just imagine you go home. How many hours you spend at home or outside? When you travel now, let's say after the course, you go home, no? How many hours or how hours until home? Huh? No, I just want to imagine to see your carbon emission also, where it is more.
20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes. But how about staying inside at home or staying in your office? Now you see? Now you see? That's why transportation is 32% because car, example, is not 24/7. But maybe your appliance in your home, 24/7. Am I right or wrong? Especially if it is free. Part of the rent, unlimited, no problem. Shower, unlimited. Ah, internet, unlimited. Ah, electricity, unlimited. So your Netflix, 24/7, So actually, that makes Qatar very alarming. So once upon a time, Qatar has the greatest emission Middle East country also in the world as well. We just try to compare their emissions to our country. And Qatar is actually, compared to country, our country is around 60 times higher greenhouse gas emission. But I think this number is obsolete now because the Qatar has already they established the GSAS, no, to combat this, and this is very this is not a very good statistics, It's a bad reputation for a country that you have, especially for developing country like Qatar, to have such carbon emission per capita? Hmm? But I think we have more higher now. Because the Qatar, compared before, I remember even the Salma Road, there are too many runabouts. Eh. I remember that. This is not highway before. Too much traffic. Okay. Now you see, everywhere the road is very huge, no? So they make a lot of drastic improvement for the past 10 years alone. So I don't think uh, this is valid now. Let me ask my co-instructor. Huh? Just curious. No? Let's see. Huh?
So remember, I can't end the session, but you can hang up anytime using the app. Take care.
I just want to, do you have idea now currently the statistics about top contributors to CO2 emissions per capita in metric tons? Can you give me 10 countries has the highest CO2 emissions in metric tons per capita?
Some of the top countries for CO2 emissions per capita in 2025 are Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia. These nations usually have high
In
emissions
the world,
and
in the world.
Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates.
Not Middle East. I want to understand the statistics in the world. Highest country in the world, not just in Middle East.
I see.
Ah,
Global statistics show that countries like Kazakhstan, the United States, and Australia often rank high in per capita CO2 emissions. These countries have significant industrial sectors and high energy consumption levels. Would you like to explore how these figures compare with other nations?
okay. How about Philippines and India? Where we are ranking?
The Philippines has relatively low CO2 emissions per capita, while India, despite its large population, also ranks lower on a per capita basis compared to more industrialized nations. Both countries contribute to global emissions, but their per capita figures are not as high as some of the top ranking countries. Would you like more information on global emissions?
So meaning these statistics as they I think still remain valid today, huh? Anyhow, no. So now if we will think of grain, what will be the benefit then? Because mostly if we talks about sustainability, the first thing comes to people's mind is it's just about environmental management or environmental protection or preservation and restoration program. Simply, it's all about environment benefits for the environment. That's it. But actually, it is not, no? So as what we have mentioned earlier, the benefit is not just for the environment. This is also beneficial for the business. So for the what is the benefit of green building to business? Your energy use or consumption can drop as high as 50%. CO2 emission will also drop. So definitely, that is a proportion. No? When your energy consumption and use drops, definitely the CO2 emission also drops around 39%. The water use also can drop by 40% and solid waste by around 70%. Now imagine the savings, imagine 50%. No? So imagine now the cost of electricity in our country. It's very expensive, right? In Qatar, not much. Okay, it is here. It's actually cheap compared to our country. However, I think we can consider a sustainability strategy to lower our energy cost. No? So if Meralco don't want to give discount or the utility provider don't want to give discount, maybe we can do some projects in order to have discounts on ourselves. No? All right. So remember, the benefits of green building is not just about the business. It is also for the people. Don't think that when we reduce the water consumption, or we reduce the electricity use, we will suffer. Huh? No, it is not. Actually, it enhance, if we will start on social benefits, it's actually enhance occupant comfort and health. Meaning, this will be more beneficial for you. It protects your health and well-being. Heighten aesthetic qualities. All right? That's another thing. No, there is a research indicates that a good views. Let's say if you have views outside, no, and the views are fantastic, beautiful. Actually, it's elevate your mood. When your mood are elevated, your stress and anxiety reduce. So part of building design is aesthetic quality. All right. Minimize strain on local infrastructure. So that is the meaning on that. The necessary utility, since the necessary utility reduce, definitely you don't need much, example, your equipment to run more, to consume more energy. No? What else? If uh, if the area has more people, has more traffic, okay, like if this, for example, this wages, there is a differences between city rate and provincial rate. uh, uh, your area will be more hotter. We call it heat island effect, no? Because your car emit more CO2, so it will make atmosphere become hotter. And normally in a city where you have a lot of skyscraper and you have a lot of pavement, this absorbs more heat, and the heat are being trapped, uh, makes more strain on local infrastructure like your utility. So if the trap is heat, so the tendency for us, our mechanical equipment, is to, you know, to consume more energy, which increase the uh, greenhouse gas emission, no? So social benefit, green building, improve overall quality of life. Because actually, again, it is not just about an ability of the company to save money, no? But ultimately protects the well-being, welfare, not just of its occupants or end user, including the community welfare as well are being protected. So environmental benefits are there, and protect biodiversity and ecosystem. I remember this though. There is a news. I don't know. My wife only. I don't know. Maybe it comes to your knowledge. There is one building in the Barwa, somewhere in Wakra area, Barwa village or something. No? And the problem there is the cat, not mice, no, or rats manifestation. There are too many rats and the big as this, and they are running everywhere. Do you have you heard that news? Okay. What I remembered is there is an imbalance of the ecosystem, The rats increase because of there's no predator in that area. And I don't know if it is true. I heard before there are a lot of cats there. No? So what they do, they kill the cats. But if this is only the predator for mouse, rats. So you just choose. We have pets like cats, stay or stray cat outside, or otherwise let rats in place. There is an imbalance of the ecosystem. No? There was a time that yeah, I don't know how our bird, the small bird,
Ah, yeah.
yeah, but in English how they call it, I forgot. No, once upon a time, China think this is a pest because it eats a lot of grain and it's their farm. Some and according to them, one small bird needs around 2 kilo of grain in a year. That there are millions, no? So they think it is a pest. It is true during who is who is the who is the prime minister that time? Mao, I think Prime Minister Mao. I think 1960, 1970. There are 10 lists of pests. So they encourage the people, the Chinese people to kill all of those and give it to government and you will get incentives. Because they think it's harm to the agriculture sector, no? Yeah, yeah, it is also, there is also how can I say, there is also a documentary there. If you want, I can share. So everywhere, the people are per kilo, if you give it to government, so people will start killing those. And they succeed actually to kill most of them because everyone is killing them. And if you surrender to government, they will kill you, they'll give you money. Now, the government didn't understand that the ecosystem should be balanced. You know what happened there? You know, locusts, swarm. Oh my God. And it's much worse. The thing is, this government didn't understand that bird. That's the problem. If you have lack of study before you do something, you think it is beneficial, it's be creating more harm now. So the locust swarm and they are expecting to increase their agricultural, agricultural production because famine or how can I say, what is other words of famine? Tagutom, no? Hunger, people are hungry, starving. They are hoping when you kill all of those birds, the people will there will be more available food because imagine 2 kilos per bird is actually consumed. They study that. That's what they study. But they didn't understand that these birds didn't only kill this, like worms and insects and small pests. You know what happened in the end? Very funny. Gradually, they didn't talk to the public that so rather than the agriculture increase drops because of the pest. And one of that is the locust. And think there are more because no more predator eh. There is imbalance in the ecosystem, right? You know what happened? Hmm? They procure. They procure birds to other country to bring. It is in the document. You know where they procure this bird? Again, imagine. When I'm watching that documentary, it's quite funny. They procure from Russia. So now it's okay now again. Yeah, let's go back. But maybe most of the the birds you are seeing the Chinese, Russian. Oh my God. So what you need to understand is, lack of education, leads to more what? Disaster, no? Lack of, not education, lack of study. You need to study more before you do drastic action, no? All right. So, environmental, protect biodiversity and ecosystem, of course. The food chain in the environment. Do you know that maybe you don't believe before we stay in Estan, you know what my wife does? She make a garden and that's just a garden. It's a forest. And to some extent, that when she knows that we are leaving, she didn't take care. We didn't put watering or for the next 6 months. It is still a garden. And guess what? There is no pest in our house. There is no cockroach. There is no rats. There's no anything. Maybe you think uh, there will be many, because there are butterflies outside. There is ano ba yung tutubi? Dragonfly? Oh, dragonfly. So, and there is also no pest in our plants. So it's actually growing from the front and back side of I supposed to take a picture. It's really when you open it, it's like am I in Qatar? it's it's a forest. But we just left the place. But anyhow, what I'm trying to say is since it's create a small ecosystem that even pests didn't survive. Imagine, we didn't even plant, but really the trees are growing, the plants are growing very high, and yeah, and the plants are there everywhere. Yeah, we created a small ecosystem that and balanced ecosystem. No? And there's no rat because there are a lot of stray cat outside. But I saw in TikTok, I saw TikTok very big cat, a very big rat. The the cat is taking care. This is the problem. And this Tom and Jerry, become friends. So I am happy in the cartoon, that they are remain enemy. Otherwise problematic. But I also say in our country also, I say in the city, no, before when I was studying in Manila, the cat is running because the big rat is, imagine, the rat is running. So I think that is the problem there in this Barwa. And the problem is the occupants are complaining too much rat. But the solution is very simple. Same thing as what China does. Procure, procure stray cat outside. Am I right? But again, that's the problem only. If Tom and Jerry become friends, this is the problem now. Um, no, no, go to news. Go to news. But the thing is, the problem, because I think early, they killed a lot of cats there. They removed cats. Again, it's repeating, no, what's happened in China. So when you see stray cat, leave it, right? Reduce waste stream, of course, conserve and restore natural resources. Okay, so what we are experiencing now, what we are benefiting now, future generation will be benefited. And economic benefits, reduce operating costs. This is good for business. Create expand market for green product and services. So if the business sector promotes sustainability, no, there will be more huge demand for sustainability products. So for example, recycled product, no, it will encourage businessman to produce recycled products. So it will be, it's also promoting an economy, no? Improve occupant productivity, all right, and optimize life cycle economic performance, no? Especially operation and maintenance, by the way, your construction cost is just a fraction of the overall cost when you are operating the building. No? It is actually, how can I say, parabolic, no? Or exponential, you can say, the cost of O&M compared to project cost. Alright. So if you see the benefits are apparent, no. So don't think when you are coming here and we have to study environmental management, no one will listen to you if there is no environmental impact, and especially if the people will not be protected. No? The government will not regulate it if or consider sustainability as part of regulatory compliance if this is benefiting only the business or ah if there's no benefit for the people. But since if you see there's a benefit of the people, sooner or later, sustainability requirements might become a regulatory requirements. You know that. Because in sustainability, we have one principle that I learned. Idea today, probably a standard practice tomorrow. And if we talk about standard practice, maybe it's become part of the regulatory requirement. So that is also a benefit that I can say. If you think sustainability, you are not just protecting the interests of your business, but you also ensured, no? Or maybe you go beyond, no, the minimum compliance to regulatory requirements, meaning you can avoid hefty fines and legal consequence as a result of unsustainable act. So for their business benefits, 8 to 9% operating cost decrease, 7.5 building value increase. So imagine if you are expecting 100 million income, so increase by 7.5 is good enough, no? 7.5 million. 6.6 return on investment improves, 3.5 occupancy ratio increase, and rent ratio increase. I will show you maybe a video later why uh, the occupant ratio increase if the tenant knows that the building are green. First, most of the people are not aware if it is a green building, it is good for the occupant, the end user, no? So they prefer uh, to stay there. Now, the building value increased by 7.5. So there is a possibility that the rent is higher in a green building compared to traditional building. However, what is 7.5 example increase in your rent or 5% increase compared to traditional building if your operating cost is also lower, no? And if you have a more productive, healthier, more productive employee, we don't mind for 5% increase. We don't mind on that, no? So if you see how the interior or the building construction looks like, if we build green building, it should be like that on the top, like green. Is that like the plants should be everywhere? Not necessarily, no. If you see this Boulder Associate office, there's no difference, no? If you see they're also using wood as well. So how you will know it is green building? It is very unnoticeable. If you will look closely, you will not notice. But it is green. Why? 39% of materials and furniture have recycled content, 43% less water use, and 55% of demolition construction waste diverted from landfill. Make it green building. Remember, your waste is also burden to the landfill. I remembered once upon a time, previous president, the waste of another country sent to our country through trailer, no? Through this container vans. Oh my God, our president is very angry. Asked to return back to Canada. Canada is uh, imagine their waste, no? They are sending to our country. Oh my God. Yeah. But if we have facility for waste recycling, for waste incineration, we will burn it and we will convert it into fuel. I think, okay, send us more. Right? That's the thing, no? Huh? So I think we need to build also. For me, I feel we can now invest in a more alternative energy sources. For example, we have in PSIM, no, uh, what's the name? That he's working in a uh, waste plant, no, that converting into, I don't know, to electricity, right? So the waste will go there in the boiler and the boiler will burn and it will produce an energy. A very good business. You know why? Because waste, what way it is sustainable? What do you think? Which country, which place in Philippines you are? Okay. So if I will ask the gentleman from Santa Rosa, huh? What do you think? Why this incineration or burning the waste become sustainable?
Because waste is already a waste and no use, no? And then what are you using it to form energy? That's why it makes protein very.
In short, actually, you know what is the problematic with waste? When we will throw landfill, no? So less burden to landfill. And why it is sustainable? Waste is unlimited and everywhere. So to think of sustainability project or I think it is a very good business. You understand? So I'm thinking when I go back to Philippines, junk shop. Huh? Huh? But you gentleman from Tondo, huh? My junk shop will be nearby to Tondo area. Huh?
The waste is free. No?
It's not only waste then. There, not waste, they make it waste. You know? Recently, last month, I saw they're removing the live cable wires, and so you can send to my Jackson. Sa Tondo, sir? Tondo? Saan ka, sir?
Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa, sorry. It's in Tondo, no? Okay. Junk shop, I will start there. Good business. Copper mining.
Even our workers like just stealing the wires, making it build. Hindi sarap mahirap, diba? After 3 months, di ba? May CCTV. But they were, first 2 months, they were successful. They were making it as a belt, no? So that they will hide. Right? They were hiding. They were cutting, make it belt. So that they can bring it out.
But how they will send them? They have collusion with the
Tunay bonds.
Tunay
Tunay
bonds.
buyers in the industry.
anyhow, define the green building, no? What are some of the thoughts that comes to your mind when you think about green? Okay? Normally, again, people think environmental management. Okay. But actually, green building is that makes building design to, so if you see here again, as what I mentioned to you, it is very barely noticeable, you can say, that this is green construction in a green approach. It is not actually. You cannot, you will not say it's like this, no, that the house is full of green. And in fact, not necessarily plants or green like this is sustainable. I will also explain to you later. No? Most people think planting, tree planting, It's not. This is not not literal meaning. No? Building are designed, built and operated to to minimize the resource consumption and the life cycle cost. The life cycle cost is the cost of maintaining and operating the building. So the lower it is, definitely a cost savings of profit for the company, right? Of course. And to maximize health and productivity of the building occupants and improve environmental performance. So again, it is very good for business to consider sustainability as part of organization or business strategy. Very, very a good strategy to be part of business. The green building are designed, built, and operated structure reduce the overall negative impact of the built environment on human health and natural environment by efficiently. If we talk about efficient, means you are getting more benefit, no? For example, if your engine is diesel engine is 39% efficient, meaning in every consumption, 39% of that are really consumed. Then the rest are thrown out. No? Simply, if your car is more efficient, maybe per liter, you can travel more. The distance will be higher, no? Longer. That is the meaning of efficient. And energy, using energy, water, land, and material. So meaning it will become efficient, which in turn reduce your cost. By what? I think 70%, right? Protect occupant health and improving employee productivity. So this is also what we call indirect benefits. All right? And reduce waste and definitely the pollution. And overall, if you see, this is more sustainable, less waste, less burden to landfill, less energy consumption or use, you are saving, but you are also minimizing or mitigating the effect of climate change, which is our problem. And pollution, no? Land pollution, air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. Here, I am the one only producing noise pollution. Question. Hmm? Where place you are, sir?
Oh.
Caloocan, gentleman from Caloocan.
Friend of 3 years.
Huh? From the gentleman of Caloocan, do you have any question? Okay. So, if no questions, let's have a break. So, make sure you sign up your attendance. Huh? And you uh, so let us continue our discussion about the basics of no? Fundamental principles of green. And the most fundamental concept are the triple bottom line, meaning the benefit should not just in the environment, not just for the people, but the benefits should be also apparent to business. Because if either any one of the aspect is not benefiting, it is not sustainable. Because sustainability is to let your operation to stay in the long run. That is what sustainability is all about. So economic bottom line of the company produce a long-term positive economic impact, ability to lower the operational expenditure, to increase the profitability and productivity as well. Environment, sustainable environmental practice, organization should endeavor or strive to benefit the planet as much as possible, or at least do no harm or curtail negative environmental impact. Because we have this what we call carbon. Maybe your organization produce a carbon footprint, but you can also offset that through sustainability strategy. There are now buildings nowadays that we call it carbon neutral. No? So let me ask my co-instructor. Hello.
Hello there.
Okay, now I am in the middle of discussion about basics of green building strategy. And can you just give me some typical example of a successful building that is considered carbon neutral?
A great example is the Bullitt Center in Seattle. It's known for being carbon neutral and features solar panels, geothermal heating, and rainwater collection systems. Quite the pioneer in sustainable architecture.
Can you just explain to me in a nutshell, in a layman's term, the meaning of carbon neutral building, or what is carbon neutral is all about?
Sure, a carbon neutral building is one that balances out its carbon emissions. It does this by reducing energy use and using renewable energy sources. So it doesn't add extra carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. In simple terms, it's about balancing out the carbon footprint to become environmentally friendly.
So in short, if all of the buildings hypothetically carbon neutral, so meaning now we are trying to prevent or mitigate the potential climate impact.
Exactly. By aiming for carbon neutrality in buildings, we're working to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. It's a strategy to slow down global warming and lessen the impact on our climate.
All right. Okay, good. Now, you might hear the triple bottom line referred to in different ways. Economic growth, business ecological balance, and social awareness. That is according to the definitions of World Business Council for Sustainable Development. And according to USGBC, how they define, USGBC stands for US Green Building Council. They're actually the one who actually champion in United States the sustainable practice. Although they are not the one who administer your exam. No, they are not actually. And by the way, lead green associate is not a certification. It is a credential. You don't say your word. I'm just telling you, because you don't tell anyone that you are lead GA certified. You are not building. What we certify here, building, not a person. What you can say, you have a credential or lead green associate accreditation. Okay? But certification, again, you are not a building. Because certification in green applies to building only. Ah. Okay? So don't say Lead GA certified. Oh my God. Since they didn't attend the course, the triple P's, you can, so too easy to remember, we have mnemonics here. No? Triple P's or either triple E's, profit, planet, and people, otherwise economic, ecology, or environment, and social equity. Either both is okay. Meaning any proposal, any improvement project that you're going to propose, if the company part of improvement initiative is sustainability, part of your business case is to justify the benefits of the tree. No? So you cannot just justify only alone the business benefit, but how it benefits the planet and the people at the same time. Then that's the time the company will give you probably funding and resources for your maybe let's say facility management projects. Now let's have an example of what is the green building it's all about. Let's say it is a case study, no? If you are let's see the value proposition in this. Traditional bottom line for construction. What is traditional bottom line? Not triple. The bottom line of the company, as you know, mostly profit. That's it, no? And it is not sustainable in the long run. Because if you are only thinking of profit, it is not sustainable because it is not thinking of the planet, not considering the benefit or impact to the planet and to the people as well. So the builder installed conventional or traditional dim light bulbs to maximize the upfront profit of the building, and traditionally they are cheap. But triple bottom line, the builder should consider the use of brighter, compact fluorescent light bulbs or LEDs that use a fraction of energy but do not have a higher upfront cost. No? So economic CFLs or compact fluorescent lamps requires less energy consumption and do not need to be replaced frequently. I think as high as 50,000 hours, a typical LED can uh, hmm, can last. No, the lifespan is around 50,000 hours. Environment using less energy allows the local utility company to burn less fossil fuel and generate less pollution. No? Normally, I've seen, if you see the label of LEDs, 70%, 80%, sometimes 90% efficient compared to traditional bulbs. Okay? And you will know if it is really less consuming. More energy means it's hot. You know, traditional bulb, if you touch, it is very hot. An LED, either 24/7, you touch, it is not hot. Because it's really almost consume no energy at all. Social environment, less energy allows the local utility company to burn less fossil fuel, and generate less pollution. And it will also the benefit also if everyone reduce their energy consumption, less demand to electricity grid line consumption, which will create a more stable energy supply or electric supply. Normally, sometimes if there is an overload, if in the transmission line or in the energy line, sometimes it cause blackout, no? So it become more sustainable, no? And social, brighter light bulbs create a better work environment for employees and according to study. No? So rather than traditional, which also emit heat, a lot of heat, that also increase your load consumption because there is a heat load calculation, no, for mechanical. For LED, it's almost nothing. No? So allows you to run your equipment in a, maybe you can run a smaller equipment which will consume less energy. No? So social, and it is more actually good environment, produce more better environment to employees. So what does it mean? No, they will become more productive if they are comfortable in their workplace. No? Now let's talk about the traditional building process and integrated project delivery. So what is IPD is all about? In a traditional building, linear process, specialists usually work in isolation. It's focused on their separate area of project expertise and interact only and working together only when it is required. For example, there is the project scope. If you are a mechanical designer, electrical designer, architecture, you design based on the code. That's it. That is normal, no? Right? And we will only interact maybe for coordination, let's say ceiling plan to position, the appliance and the ceiling tile like that. But we will not think of, am I doing will impact them? There's no such mentality. And that is common, no? IPD. Okay? So let's have a case study. Thermal insulation. Enough insulation would be installed to meet the code and lowest cost. That's what I normally think if I am, let's say, a civil contractor, no? Right? If I will install here an insulations for the wall as a civil engineer, minimal compliance to QCS. I will not think of what it will, how it impacts the energy consumption. So enough insulation will be installed to meet the code and lowest cost. The HVAC system would be designed to cool the building based on area without regard to what insulation was being used or which insulation would be most effective for the HVAC system. So for us, normally we have also insulations to our piping, for example. No? And for us, the insulation thickness for our piping, let's say in your chilled water line, based on what is the minimal code requirements, 1 inch, 2 inches. That's it. No, we will not go more than that. We will not think of any other thing. No. The contractor work on isolation, just concentrate on their own concerns or expertise, not the overall building or the needs of its occupants or any relations to the environment, nothing. So initial cost and operating cost can usually increase because of this approach. This is the thing. Now in integrated project delivery, the team works together from conception to completion to reach the sustainability goal. Okay, and to maximize efficiency through all the phases of the life cycle of the building. So everyone in the integrated team must be on the same page throughout the building process. Normally, for example, the end user will only come normally in the completion, and the maintenance team will only come during the completion. Well, here, no. During the kickoff meeting, everyone should come together. Even the operation manager, even the maintenance manager, even security manager, even cleaning manager, we should come together and discuss. No? Projects employ integrated supply team can achieve savings of about 2 to 10% of the cost of construction. That's according to that. Why? Definitely, if all of the requirements of each and every stakeholders are considered as part of initial building design and construction, we are preventing change. No? Normally, there is a change request or variations or changes to the construction along the way because there are requirements needed considered early. But if we are on board as early as kickoff meeting, or even as early as in the design phase, forget about kickoff meeting in design, not just construction, no? You can save by this, you can save 2 to 10% of the cost of construction. Why? Because changes are almost negligible. Changes only happen mostly because there are some requirements that you fail to consider early. But if the requirements are clear in the very beginning of the project, then what changes requires then? Integrated project delivery, if you see the design team, what is the design input? Normally, the design team they will try to understand the end user requirements. No? Okay? Normally, the designer only talks to the owner. Then they will create a design project brief. That will be the basis of design. They will create a basis of design. But in IPD, the input in design is from everyone. General contractor, owner, lighting designer, mechanical engineer, energy consultant, occupiers, facility manager, janitorial staff, architect, interior designer, project manager, landscape, everyone. Not just the owner. It's like this, no? Normally, I am the designer. I will talk to the client. And based on this client requirement, I will create a project brief and basis of design. And the basis of design, that's the time I will distribute to these people. And you decide according to this. That's how it is, the traditional one. Here, no, no. Do you see the difference? Even Hamad, this is not what we do. Huh? You understand? The requirement is only from the end user. No, no, no. This is not how it is working. You know what happened here in the construction of the building envelope? No? For example, you're a civil engineer. When I construct the same thing, I construct the building wall with insulation, no? Because otherwise the heat will come inside, which will increase your cost, your electricity cost, and heat load, cooling load requirements, no? Here, no. When you create a design, subject to input of everyone. What is the heating and cooling requirements? If let's say I increase the size of the insulation, what will be this time the size of equipment like that? No? Site and water, how it will impact the ventilation requirement, materials, lighting, and orientation of the building, and massing. So the interdependent building consideration of whole building design. Okay? So meaning this time, I will not just think of the input on my design. Two things normally. Traditional client, of course, based on the basis of design, basis on the project brief, and based on the authority requirements, standard requirements. That's it. Here, no. Ah, once you have the design, you ask everyone to review. Maybe you need something else to consider, no? Now, the success of the project team depends on setting specific goals that can be measured and validated. Example, hmm, early in the project, in the green building, we have a rating. No? I just want to show you. So this is LEED rating version 4 for BDNC, meaning building design and construction. And it depends on the type of building. Here we don't have this what we call one size fits all approach. We don't have that. The type of facility, all right, and then type of building, we have different rating system because each and every building has its own unique needs. For example, for hospital facility, I think they are more concerned on about spread of disease, right? So more rating system for that. For school, is actually noise is their priority, right? So every building we have different priority. For hospitality, maybe their priority is reductions of waste, let's say food waste and everything, material waste, like that, no? So here, for new construction in just a typical building, no? Normal building. Okay. Remember, we discussed this integrated process, no? Right? The input in your design is from everyone, not just from the owner or not just from limited people. If you can prove that documentation, you have the kickoff meeting example records of participating from all stakeholder, you need to prove na you will get 1 point. Ay, ganyan. Ay, alis ko na. Ah, ito yung checklist, di ba? So may current shell, school, retail, okay, new construction din. Okay. Yung integrated process, 1 point. Now, first in the project, you need to identify what is your sustainability goal. Are you aiming for a building certification? Yes. Because here, there is a rating system here. If your building is certified, you're aiming only for certified building, 40 to 49 points. Silver, 50 to 59 points. Gold, 60 to 79. Platinum, 80 to 110. If you can achieve. Because the maximum possible points, 110. But I don't think you will get 110. Maybe possible, I think, I guess. But the total points is 100%, and we have the bonus points, which is the innovation, has maximum, I guess, 6 points, and regional priority 4 points. So it's become 110. No? Remember this, because in your exam, this will come, I'm sure. Okay? Now, based on your strategy, based on your design requirement, and based on your sustainability goal, you decide. Example, LEED for neighborhood and development location. You can get maximum 16 point here. No? Here, in this one. Okay? So you can put here if you want, let's say here 2 points, 3 points. Here we have 1 point. Here you have 3 points based on your design because there is a criteria. How much points you can earn based on this design. No? So here, it accumulate. But not enough, no? You know where you will get more points? Forget about location and transportation. In a sustainable site. You know where? Energy and atmosphere. Maximum points 33. You only need 7 points in order to be certified. So, if you really want to get a building certification, normally they concentrate in earning more points in energy and atmosphere. Why? Why the rating is not equal? Of course, definitely based on the priority. And what is our priority here? What is our aim? Ah, mitigate the impact of climate change. This is actually the one who has highest, who has a direct impact. Eh. Although all of this, but not much compared to this. No? So here you focus. Now, what is those required? That is prerequisite. So if you didn't achieve that, prerequisite means if you achieve, no points. But if you didn't achieve, certification revoked. So even you get 80 points and you're expecting that you are platinum certified, if you didn't deliver that minimum requirements, required, not optional, your certification application might be revoked. It's clear? Huh? Okay. Nice. in your exam in Lead GA, don't worry about in this design what is the points. Well, that is your problem during the Lead AP certification now. But Lead GA, no, it's not a problem here. Okay, basic things only.
So who picks up check sheet? Who picks it up? Lady, the one who gives the function.
No, it's a team to decide, no? The project team to decide. I think the owner itself should be the one to decide because he's the one providing the funding resources. Remember this, you're definitely if you're aiming for sustainable design, you are looking for long-term savings. So your potential initial cost or investment might be higher if you are aiming for higher certification. So actually, it's everyone to decide, but definitely it will start from the owner itself because maybe there is a higher upfront cost for definitely compared to traditional building, there is a higher upfront cost in this. For example, you install a solar panel, you have a cost, but when if you continue using it, when will be your payback? Normally, for solar panel, 3 to 3.5 years. But what is the lifespan of the solar panel? Let's say 15 years. So for the next the 11 to 12 years, savings like that. No? That's why if you consider sustainability strategy, shifting your focus or perspective from short-term to long-term perspective. So do I serve the pleasure of the gentleman from Taguig?
Assessor that one. Did AP or there is a third party?
The lead AP is the one who administered the design, definitely, to ensure your compliance. No? Later on, we will discuss that. There are roles here in the project, but definitely the lead AP certified will be the one to champion to ensure the compliance. No? To ensure that whatever we agreed earlier during the concept, design, or pre-design phase until the construction or occupancy and recommissioning requirements are considered. He or she will be the one to control that, no? To ensure that this objective remain objective until the end of the project. Mm. So do I satisfy the gentleman from Tarlac?
Sa Toro.
Santa Rosa. Dapat next time you have a nameplate. Pre-design and design. Ha? I will appreciate if next time you will call me Mr. Chair. Parliament. So let's discuss the pre-design before the design and design, no? So pre-design, the project vision, summarize objectives and goals to be accomplished. And part of that is the checklist that I showed you earlier, no? No, you don't need to be technical here because it is the GA exam. No, you don't need too much technical. But you should understand the fundamental concept, no? So you can support, this is the thing, no? So we are expecting, it is, I think, it is, although not required, but it is a must or it is recommended for me that the project team to be engaged in a green building project to be at least LEED GA certified. No? So you understand why. Because you might question everything. There is one student of mine, I don't know why he enrolled in my course, but he is blaming green building project. He's telling to me that this green building project is bring disaster to their project. Instead of savings, the company spend a lot. And my answer to him is very simple. He just try to blame me. I'm not the renewal project why you're blaming me. I told them, I know the reason why the project failed. Why, sir? The project itself is not sustainable. Right? You didn't balance the requirements of the triple bottom lines. Probably lack of education, lack of awareness, lack of training. You just take something, you commit something that you are not also expert. Huh? That's why you fail. Because if your project is sustainability, then you should get more profit then. But why you are failing? Meaning the way you orchestrate the project is not sustainable. I told you like that. All right. Number two, define the green goals of the building based on the project vision. Maybe you want to be platinum certified. Ah, hypothetical case study. Define what you want to accomplish. Maybe you don't want even, but you want, again, for me, in my view, it is not necessarily you consider sustainability goals because you want certification. If you didn't even also look for certification, it is always an advantage for you and for your business and for the planet and for the people to consider green building strategy if you know how to implement. Forget about certification. You don't want to spend that? Fine. We don't want there. But according to study, for example, IPD concept itself of sustainability save your cost by around 10%. That's alone is a benefit already. If your project cost is 1 billion, you save 100 million. Not bad, right? You think about cost of green building certification, not even million, not even spend million there for a billion project. Well, it's just a fraction. It's nothing compared to the savings and compared to the benefits that it will bring to your business. Again, if you try to apply sustainability aspect and you didn't benefit, not sustainable. Right? That's not what sustainability is all about. There's something wrong with you. And don't blame USGBC. There are a lot of proven projects out there successfully delivered. Huh? And otherwise, maybe I told him also, maybe if you have really issue with this, create your own standard if you want. Uh, this kind of thing didn't come just fly by night, no? This requirement. This is based on a careful study and research. So don't think you fail, everyone failed. Right? Or for example, why you're attending my course? It's supposed to be before you engage in a green building project, you're supposed to be certified, not certified, accredited. Why? The learning should be before engagement in a green building project, not after. And now you come here just to blame everyone. All right, set priority. Not all goals may be achievable for a budget or schedule. So that's why you want platinum. It's good. It's good to show. Yeah. Good for marketing. Our building is green platinum certified. Very, very good. But the question is, do you have money? Do you have enough resources? That's the thing, no? Also into consideration availability also of the technology needed. No? So select the project team. Every member of the team will need to be committed to the green building goals and the project vision. How you will be committed if in the first place you don't know anything, you don't have any knowledge about basics of green building. So it's good that you are attending here. Don't think I'm in the green building project now. That's why I enrolled. No, you should enroll prior to engagement in any building project. So that's why nowadays, if the project is a sustainability project, it is a required, or probably it will be required by your potential employer for you to have a green building credentials, certifications. Santa Rosa, is there any flood there? Flood?
Yeah.
Flood? Flood?
Lahat.
Flood?
Lahat yes, sir.
Hmm?
It's
Not sustainable. Hmm? Number 5, 1.5, research green building technology and strategy. Do research on new green technology and strategy. They relate to meeting the goals and priority of the project. Okay? Kailangan mag-research, of course. Siyempre, kung ano yung available technology sa area mo, siyempre. Define green building budget item. A green building has a few added expense compared to traditional building. But think of this. In long run, in your considering not just project cost, but the long-term cost, what will be your life cycle cost? Definitely, if you have more innovation, more better solution, definitely your energy cost in the long run, the life cycle cost definitely will reduce. Definitely, we will expect platinum, since this is the highest certification, has more savings compared to certified building only. But the initial cost, the upfront cost might be higher. So that's why this sustainability goal from the gentleman of Taguig, Caloocan, mixing Trillanes. All right. Next, do you flood in your area?
No.
Hmm?
Some places in Caloocan.
That's sustainable also. So green will help, no, to combat this as well. Later on, we will discuss. What there are many strategies or strategy out there. Okay, Caloocan. Okay, Taguig is where Trillanes run, no?
Caloocan. Natalo ni
Malapitan.
Malapitan.
Caloocan.
Yes.
Caloocan. Hindi, not Malapiton, ha?
Ang Biskaya and
Alright. So you need to understand your building budget, no? Then set, right, accordingly, no? Design and cost advice from experienced green building professional, all right? And research of unconventional techniques or material. You might need to engage a consultant also, a green consultant, no? But not green-minded consultant. Green consultant, that's different, these people think differently. Yeah, you need green minds, not green-minded minds. That's different. Review applicable law and standard. The project must meet local code, zoning, and ordinance. Of course, project in US must also comply with the accessibility guidelines of American Disability Act or ADA. So meaning your facility, in short, should be also user-friendly, especially for handicapped people. So you follow also the ADA guidelines. So that's the requirements. For you, maybe in a traditional building, you will not consider this, right? But in a green building, again, part of that is welfare of its occupants. So ADA compliance is a must. Normally, they have a bigger toilet, size, they're special normally, right? There's a grab bar, special more convenient because we want convenience, no, for them. Number 2, design. In the design phase for IPD, there will be some additional steps. Develop a project budget that covers green building measure. All right, whatever we discuss, whatever. Because now, here, we can start creating the specification, the project specification. But based on initial basis of design, right? BOD first, basis of design. Project input, project brief, and then basis of design, and then design. Okay, this is how normally it's happening. So if you see, it's almost same. Only you need to onboard everyone early, even the janitorial staff. Develop a project budget that covers green building measure. Test and select green technology and strategy. Check costs and finalize design decision. So it's almost same. No? And remain IPD steps. But only, again, in this every phase, everyone's input is required. The coordination, not because of only for programming. No, the coordination is if I increase my insulation in the wall, how much heat load will be reduced so that the size of your equipment will be reduced, like that. no? If your equipment is has a a smaller size, definitely the consumption and energy consumption will be lesser. So, test and select green technology and strategy, check cost, finalize design. All right, finalize design again, no? But normally you have the framework with the checklist with you, no? And if you are the lead AP, you are the administrator definitely of the green project. Make sure that the design from the start until the end follows this, no? Remaining IPD steps, no? Construction plan, bidding process, construction, commission of the building, occupancy, and recommissioning, which is again same. But the main difference is that in each steps, the project team is always review and verify whether the green building goals are being met at every point of the process. Am I hitting the points requirements here? This is the thing. We will go back to the checklist, to the requirements of the. Am I achieving or no? So probably the lead AP will be the one always to review and approve as well. Part of the approval. You can consider that, no? Additionally, the team is always working together and collaborating. Do you think it's bad? So meaning, we want the team to be in the same page. We should not work in isolation. Do you think it's bad? It's actually also promote what? Team spirit, no? And team cohesiveness, which in turn makes them more productive. You know that there's a lot of and do you think this team that working together is healthy for business or no? You see you see, huh? So actually, you think it's just environment. It's actually benefiting everyone. Imagine from the design itself. Allow us to working much closer. It's actually improve our relationship. In a green building project, you cannot work alone. You have to be a team player in order to work with us. Otherwise, this project will fail. No? And maybe that's what's happened to them. I don't know. I'm not there. Why you suddenly you will come here and you will burst your rants to me? Why? What I do? What I do? Am I involved even in the? I even don't know the location of your project. You will blame me. What the f? Uh, Now let's revisit the previous HVAC example. So let's the HVAC person and the insulation person do further joint analysis before the design begin. How much extra insulation? So this is the cost, the consideration now. How much extra insulation can we add? Maybe in the wall insulation to reduce the size of mechanical system or including in uh, the size of the insulation thickness of the chilled water system, for example. How much size? So we can reduce the size of the equipment. Is there any added cost in the insulation? Yes, but do you think it will not reduce the size of equipment? Of course, it will reduce. And that's the goal. That is our sustainability goal here. Because you should not only work alone because this is the minimum requirements of the code. You should work think of the impact of your design to any other system. How will how will doing so decrease our operating costs? Good question, of course. No? Because maybe we will be having more costs, but what is the savings to the end user, to the maintenance, right? What are the life cycle costs of the insulation? No? Meaning until the end of the replacement, how much the cost, no? Are there more upfront costs or we actually cutting costs by using smaller equipment? So in reality, you might think you are increasing cost, but in reality, your cost might also decrease. You add the decrease of insulation, but you need only this time smaller equipment, which meaning you increase cost in some aspect, but you reduce the cost in some aspect. That's why there is a research that if you are really good or expert in green building project, the project of traditional building and green building project, the cost is almost the same. Imagine, ha? Imagine this. If you know. Ah, so that's why when he is telling me it's increased their cost and it's cost delay, I really don't know what's that, right? Why me? What is the point of diminishing return? Diminishing return, putting more will, what is the point in such, let's say, adding more insulation is no more beneficial. Law of diminishing return. Okay, this is the savings. This is the cost. Huh? How can this is the, sorry, the thickness of your insulation, for example, and this is the uh, energy savings, no? Okay, this is the, so let's say here 25 mm, here 50 mm, here 75 mm, this 100 mm, okay? So probably it will be like this. You understand? Okay. In traditional building, you don't have this analysis, right? But in grid building, no. This time you have to analyze this one, no? Okay? My friend working in Canada as a design sustainability consultant now. Good salary. I'm just telling you. Uh, this is the point of diminishing return, that putting more thickness is no longer advantage. So you need to know that in design. Right? But the more you increase the thickness, this is what? In proportional to cost. So no more. When you increase cost increase only. But no more energy savings. Yes. Huh? Do I answer your latest? So did you understand, the gentleman from Leyte? So before you speak in the parliament, you should understand that you should call the attention of the chair. Okay?
I must very good. With the introduction. This is a plenary session.
All right. Okay. Now it takes off system thinking. Okay. Okay.
Okay, you have the floor.
No, it's okay. I have the floor. I have the floor. I have the floor. I have the floor. I have the floor.
USB. Hindi na ibukas yun. Hindi na ipakita.
Si Garin na. Si Garin yun at saka si Tommy Chaco, di ba? I have the floor. I have the floor. Nakakatawa talaga. Mga politician natin. I have the floor. All right, system thinking, no? So remember this in your exam, closed system, no? So a set of loop of material with closed loop, closed system are considered to be the most sustainable system because there is no waste. So closed system, theoretically, hypothetically, no waste. So closed system are the most sustainable system because there is no waste or final end product. So if you see, this is the design by our God. It will rain, so there is a water, but there is a place to absorb, so to avoid the flooding, right? Or if there is an extra water, there is a water stream, it will go to the lake or to the river, and lake is the lake, this is the lake water, okay? Maybe it's just going to the sea, but there is also what we call evaporation and transpiration, and then again condensation and precipitation. Question: is there any waste here? No. Right? Even there is an animal there is an insect there. The bio, the ecosystem is highly biodiversified. That there is a what? There is no waste. No, or how can I say? There is no waste or final end product waste. So can we consider that? Is it hypothetically possible in consider system thinking as part of green building? The answer is yes, of course. Now, think of this. Huh? There is precipitation and there is a maybe streams here and there is some plant control system here. Huh? Plant control, okay, plant control system, some dam over there, huh? Well, who's the contractor? Who's the contractor? Huh?
Alpha Omega.
Alpha Omega. Okay. Then there is a water treatment system, and there is a water main going to the people, to the housing, and there is a sewer, and there is a sewer with treatment works, enough to dispose again to the sea. You can dispose to the sea, but the quality, check the quality, and then evaporate again, and then return. So if you see virtually no waste. So that's why according to our president, don't waste blood. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about if there's a closed system, there's an open system, and this is the problem now. System that constantly takes in items from outside, use them and release them as a waste. You consume something, you throw, and it will go to landfill. It's become a waste this time, no? Or it become a pollution. Makes it what? Unsustainable. So what are the ways how a system work? So there is what we call leverage points. A small change can lead to a large change in results. So leverage points. For example, if our strategy is green roof system, you might earn not only points in preventions of the flooding, for example, because water plants absorbs water, that. But you also reduce because trees, plants is actually absorb heat. You don't know that? Think about this, no, outside. If there's a tree, park your car there. There's a cooling effect. Right? So you also save energy costs. And then you also mitigate the potential flooding, no? What also that, no? So this reduce of it's actually there is also what we call open space. If it is a plant or if it is a landscape or an considered open space, there's also points. So here, this is what we call leverage points. One strategy gives a lot of pointing system, no? So you think one project that you will get many points. Here, I go back to the rating system. In sustainable site, you will get points. Okay? No need. Energy and atmosphere, you can get points there because it will reduce your energy cost. Okay. Indoor environmental quality, you will also get that points there. And location and transportation. So meaning, leverage points is similar to what we call, this is the term we use in sustainability, synergy. No? In synergy, 1 plus 1 is not equal to, just to explain in a simple term, no? 1 plus 1 is equal to 150 million, for example. 1 plus 1 is equal to 150 million. 100 million, like that. Okay? Now, negative feedback loop, where the output may signal the system to stop changing. So I'll tell you you know what's happening in the population in Japan? No? Normally what happens is you produce children, they grow up, they get married, and they produce more children. So that is actually positive feedback loop. No? If it is negative feedback loop, this time reduce. Yeah, we have two, but we only produce one, like one child policy of China. So now they're also facing a problem here, no? Because the people also become part of their culture, this kind of policy. That is what we call negative feedback loop, no? So think of any project, for example, that when we do this, let's say it's reduce the waste, for example, and that is what negative feedback loop. Positive feedback loop, definitely, you think any project that will produce more benefit, that is positive feedback loop, no? Points, positive feedback increase the speed of the system also at the same time. Maybe become more productive apart from the cost savings. So let me ask the gentleman from Microsoft to further explain. I am in the middle of the class. Are you there?
I'm sorry, I can't talk about that. You can find more details in Microsoft's privacy documentation. Sure thing. I'm right here, Marvin.
So I'm in the middle of the class now and we're discussing about sustainability basics, green building framework or principles. And now we are discussing about system thinking. And in the Lead Green Associate course, there are two types of how a system work, in what ways. So we have two things, negative feedback loop and positive feedback loop. If you are the sustainability expert, what are your examples?
Systems thinking and sustainability, a crucial topic. In a negative feedback loop, think of a thermostat. When the temperature rises, the system kicks in to cool it, maintaining balance. For a positive feedback loop, consider urban heat islands. As cities get hotter, they absorb more heat, amplifying the effect. It's all about understanding these dynamics to foster sustainable practices.
Okay? Clear? Okay.
Another.
So positive feedback loop will produce children in explanation mo eh. We will produce children, we will get married to produce more children. So the population increasing. But negative feedback loop, the output may signal the system to stop changing. For example, one child policy prohibit us to have more children. This produce negative feedback loop. So rather than increasing, decreasing. All right. Now, of course, release. Okay, can you just give me another example and why?
Sure. Let's dive into another example. For a negative feedback loop, consider a forest ecosystem.
Mhm.
If deer populations grow too large, food becomes scarce, leading to a natural reduction in deer numbers, restoring balance. On the flip
Yun na rin yung
side,
example
a
ko eh.
positive feedback loop can be seen in melting Arctic ice. Less ice leads to more heat absorption by dark ocean water, which in turn causes more ice to melt. Pretty fascinating, right?
Consider example in a green building project.
In green buildings, a negative feedback loop might involve energy usage. If a building becomes too warm, a smart system could reduce heating to stabilize the temperature. Conversely, a positive
Negative
feedback loop could be seen in the use of natural light. Installing reflective surfaces can amplify sunlight, reducing the need for artificial lighting, which in turn encourages even more use of reflective materials.
Okay, now it's clear. So in your design, consider the positive and negative feedback loop. If we are promoting to increase more this particular design, no, positive feedback loop, otherwise negative. All right. Now, of course, the sustainability will not just last or finish in the construction. We have also ongoing operation and maintenance. Okay, so that's why there is also a separate certification. When you become a LEED Green Associate, which is a prerequisite for your LEED AP exam, if you are planning to be a sustainability expert, maybe in the future, and you want sustainability career, um, there is a certification, we call it LEED AP ONM, Operation and Maintenance, because now normally people tends to get this BD and C credential, which is Building Design and Construction. That one ONM. O plus M. This one, BD plus C. No? So ensuring the building is performing as planned can reduce operational costs, of course, because this is what we plan in the future. And this is where the real actions will happen, will take place. Effective preventive maintenance and ongoing commissioning are essential tool to maintain the building performance by catching the problem before system break. According to IFMA, or International Facility Management Association, building commissioning is actually, there is a cost on that, but your return of investment is within 0.7 years. 0.7 year. I don't know what is 0.7 year, maybe around 7 to 8 months. So after that savings, because there is a proper water balance, there is air balance, etc. So the cost of green. Do green building cost more than conventional building? Green building studies have shown that cost of green building can be the same as the traditional building. Green building projects have hard and soft costs, just like traditional building, but the project team are also considered life cycle costs, which in turn, if we talk about life cycle costs, long term, right? So traditionally, if we will talk about life cycle costs or total cost of ownership until the end of the building useful life, probably, definitely, it will be way much lesser. There is no significant difference in average cost for green building as compared to non-green building, which mean green building strategy is not necessarily expensive as what many people think. Green building project, oh, expensive because you have to invest in technology, BMS, and everything. But think about it. Investing in IoT, BMS, automation, I think it is beneficial for the company because you become more productive. There is a positive feedback loop over there, considering all of those aspects, right? So hard costs directly related to the construction process, equipment, and building materials. Anything needed in order to build the product or to produce or to perform the required services. That is hard costs. Soft costs not directly related to the construction costs, architectural design, legal fees, financing, engineering fees, etc. That is considered indirect. Even administrative fee in the project. No? The salary of your director, your project manager, your salary of the operation or CEO. No, I'm not, sorry, I'm not CEO, CFO. Right? The salary of that is indirect, no? CFO. Are you CEO or CFO? No. You're no longer, you're diversified, Diversified. Diversified, no? Diversified, no? Diversified is different from diversified, meaning you already pull out your investment there, divest. So rather than invest, divest, no? So life cycle cost simply the cost of over a lifetime or a specified period of a good, service, structure, or system, include the purchase price, installation cost, operating cost, maintenance cost, average cost, and value at the end of ownership or its useful life. So for us, as an owner, we want a lower life cycle cost. We want lower operational cost. We want lower maintenance cost. So whatever will be the generated revenue or income operating this facility will be, I will get more profit. Right? So why would I say no? If I am an owner, really understand the benefit, that I am not just helping my business to grow further, that the building strategy is beneficial to everyone. It is a very good business strategy because it allows me to increase my profitability, the potential more profit. Why not? The issue here only the people don't understand. Because of those upfront costs. For example, in a green building project, I think you need to educate everyone. And normally this is seen as an upfront cost. But what we didn't realize, the green building strategy is investing in long term. That if the people are educated, it will 10% cost of the, because of, coordination issue, the conflict will be reduced. So your construction cost, project cost will be reduced by maximum 10%. It is a way good savings. So to educate the team to invest in the knowledge is not really a bad thing at all, after all, right? And life cycle analysis is the investigation and evaluation of the environmental impact of a given product or service. For example, if I use plastic, what will be the what will be the potential impact to the environment? This is open loop system, no? It will increase the waste in the landfill, right? So LCA address environmental impacts. So LCA address economic impacts. So both of the study, if you are a sustainability designer, no, you need to justify this. Maybe you think it's an extra activity or effort, right? But again, this extra activity is okay because generally, when you will get this extra effort on what will be the savings at the end. No, let's say in your project total cost, you will, because more coordination, more collaboration, and more intensive research allow us to produce better thing. The quality of our output improve. No? So just to explain shortly, exam can be taken through Prometric. If you are a member, 200, otherwise 250 for non-members. Take note that some organizations might be member of USGBC. You will also get a discount. For example, for HMC, I think one of our maybe department is, there is a coupon code there as. Normally, Parson, ACO, maybe they are those international consulting firm or construction firm might have a discount on this. Now, the good thing is, if you are a student, you will get discount more, $100. Now, this is the one I will deal with you. No? If you will enroll to me, if you will pay to me, rather than you pay 250, you also pay 200. Good deal, right? Win-win. Additional income to you, sir. But you also benefit, right? Ah, this is not ghost project that the only benefit is the contractor or the politician. It benefits everyone. Computer-based, 100 questions, 2 hours and 2 minutes, 20 minutes. But normally this is 2 hours exam but plus 10 minutes exit survey. Passing score 170, not necessarily 85%. The evaluation is based on relative performance against baseline. No? I don't know how they calculate, if you will ask me, to be honest with you. But this is not very hard exam, I'm telling you. And I'm expecting all of you, as long as you will not get absent, you attend and you do the practice test within a week. You can do the exam. I'm very confident. Many of my students before do that already. And they are all successful. Results are immediately available and internationally recognized. That's why one of my friends is working now in Canada. But after lead GA, he also continued his lead APWell, lead APBDNC, lead APONM like that. Huh? Anyway, but actually, it's really good to think like a green, green-minded, but in a positive way. Now, this is the exam interface. All right. Sometimes the questions is more than normally 4, but it can be 5. And sometimes choose 2. Makes the exam more difficult, no? Because if you mistake either, or maybe one of them is correct, the other one is wrong, then you're wrong. There is no 0.5 points. No, no. Makes your exam a little way difficult. Yeah. Not for GA, for AP. Because select 2, select 3, like that. This is the problem with the lead AP. And you have, if you cannot be able to answer it, let's say, put red flag, then you can put red. So later on in summary, you can see the which area you didn't answer. No, there is a summary at the end. No, you can press. So you can see it is marked. Mark means you put flag to come back later if there's a time. completed or incomplete, there's no answer. But for me, don't leave any marks. Anyway, for me, I just finished the exam within 30 minutes, I guess. 2 hours exam, right? 30 minutes. Or anyway, maybe for you 1 hour. But for me, this is what I am not doing. Leaving anything unanswered. You choose best answer based on your guess. If there is a time, go back. Take again. Put mark. That's it. Huh? So now we finish the chapter 1. We discussed the green building. We discussed the triple bottom line, the triple E, the triple Ps. The conventional design we compare with integrated project delivery design, and you will get maximum 1 points there. Integrated project delivery, integrated team, how they work, system thinking. We discussed the closed, open system, positive and negative feedback loop, O&M, life cycle cost analysis, soft cost, and hard cost. Soft cost is direct, indirect cost, otherwise hard cost. Normally, soft costs are part of administration and part of management, no? Which is also necessary. And exam, we discuss also the fees and potential discount for you enrolling in this course. This is the classical example of a green roofing system. And according to study, the cost of maintenance for green roof is way cheaper compared to traditional roofing. Apart from reduced energy consumption and flood control strategy. Anyway, this is not a ghost project. It control flood, by the way. Imagine all the building has this. Probably we can mitigate. We don't need much flood control projects. We can invest in sustainability projects to control floods. Or we call it stormwater. Here we are not using the term floods. Here we are using stormwater runoff. Is there any objection from any of the gentlemen?
No.
So if there is no objection, our session is suspended.